Hello and welcome back to our channel where we are checking on all of our autonomous systems after a very cold night. We had about 7 degrees overnight, a sudden drop as opposed to the 20s and teens we've been getting overnight. Now for a windshield we had -3 degrees. We have frost and ice all over the outside of this greenhouse. And that being said, I want to check up on our system after a very frigid night, and we had about 50-mile-an-hour winds yesterday, leading into a drop of temperature last night and a little bit of moisture in the air, which added to an overall absolutely freezing night. So I want to show what temps we're getting down in our water. So our system's not actually running right now, it's on its cycle, and I don't want to touch that because we have not gotten very much sunlight at all today, so I want to let that run on its own. Get some temps of our water here. We're sitting about 45 degrees in our water, and that is awesome because this is what water looks like outside our greenhouse right now. Everything is frozen solid. We're sitting about 20 degrees outside this greenhouse. We've got about 53 degrees inside our greenhouse, and that is absolutely astonishing. We are about 33 degrees above the ambient temperature outside at any given time. This morning inside our greenhouse, the water was about 45 degrees, just like it is now, and our air temp was about 40 degrees, which is amazing because we're sitting about 30 degrees still above the ambient temperature outside. So these two autonomous systems are nothing without our giant thermal battery, our large compost pile that all of these systems run through. So these systems are very dependent on the compost in order to heat those systems up and transfer into our greenhouse. The best thing about these two systems is that it requires very minimal solar activity. We have not had any sunlight. Everything is thick clouds all day, all yesterday, and we're still able to run our fan and cycle our battery on our water pump and continually operate without a whole lot of solar energy being put into this system. So I wanted to show these systems in poor conditions for operation basically, and talk about the difference and the heat loss. We have about a 30-degree difference between in here and outside, and that's a lot to lose. And we have 2 layers of poly on this greenhouse, but no gap in between them. We were just building it to be structurally sound and repel hail and sticks that fall from the tree. And we are not holding nearly as good of temperatures as we had last year going into this. We had the whole northern wall up to the ceiling covered with mylar foil and a bunch of hay bales all the way around this. We have not gotten that far. We kind of got behind the ball working on both of our greenhouses and trying to keep everything up. So we have to really put some work in to insulate this greenhouse, which leads me to the next topic, insulation. We can hold all the heat we want in here, but we are transferring it right through this plastic because it is so thin. With 1 layer of plastic, you're losing a lot of heat. With 2 layers of plastic and a gap in between, you are losing 50% less heat than a single layer poly. So insulation options, we used mylar blankets and a little bit of foam last year and a bunch of straw bales all around the northern side. Some insulators I want to experiment with this year are the rolls of foil, your foil insulation, and your bubble rolls of insulation that actually have your bubble plastic inside the 2 layers of foil, which may work very well for us. You can use regular bubble wrap plastic, and it can be had for pretty cheap, and you can get decent sized rolls, and I could insulate this whole little greenhouse pretty cheaply and easily. And they allow all of your light to come through, and they have minimal heat transfer because all of those little bubbles are sealed, so they continually hold heat and stop heat transfer. Now you can get greenhouse insulating blankets that will go right over the top of this, but those are super expensive and we are not going that route. We like it the DIY, cheapest possible route. One major point I want to make about insulating is you start on your northern wall. Your northern wall is the coldest wall you're going to have, and it's going to be your reflective wall. So we always insulate our northern wall first and then put some type of reflective material. Last year we had a little bit of burning on our plants with this mylar we're using, so I want to find a different solution to insulate our northern wall on the inside of our greenhouse. I just wanted to share all this because it is not always bright and sunny and warm. It is absolutely freezing out, and we had no sun today and about 50-mile-an-hour winds all the way through the night, just creating very cold temperatures and less than ideal conditions to be growing food. So if anyone's got any questions on anything we got going on, or has any ideas for some DIY insulation that they'd like to see me try out, definitely drop it in the comments below. I'm always looking for suggestions. I have a bunch of ideas of my own for insulating this, but if someone has a cheaper or easier or more efficient way, I am open to ideas. I really appreciate everybody watching these videos. We want to share what we're learning and kind of collect some data and show observations on less than ideal conditions.